need y'all to let me know about the audio, whether you can hear it or not. I think I'm my gate down just a kiss. Alright, so we're going to give it a second, I think, see if anyone wants to hop in. We'll give it till 1 minute, and then we're going to jump into a song that I wrote with some friends, and we just finished tracking drums for it. When was that? A couple days ago in my garage. Totally set up. This is one of the mics that I used. One of the things why I don't have like a better stand is because it's all still set up. We're gonna track the final song Thursday, I believe. We're gonna do an all live sesh, so we're pretty stoked. It's been about a minute now, so we're just going to hop into it. We're going to kill the sleep token. Just quit that, just make everything quit, and here we go. Here's the session. So I've already kind of started touching it, as you can see. I've actually started to just kind of somewhat mix this, and that is just because I wanted to get somewhere. But we'll go through, turn off all the plugins, and we'll go from there. But the reason it's mixed is because I wanted to start off with some showing off how I kind of like edit my drums. This is something that is just challenging. So I don't know why this is faded in here or cut, but all right, figure that out later. Anyways, so how I edit drums, there's a lot of different ways. There's like, you know, quantize, just straight quantizing. Don't do that, sounds like garbage. There's like this mode in here which will automatically come in and detect the transients. Like this blue line, you know, detects the transient. Transient is like that initial hit, and that works too. It'll move it around, it'll chop it up and fill gaps. I originally did that with this track, and I didn't really, you know, like it all too much, so I said screw that, not gonna do that. I have the screen up here, so I'm gonna look up here. And so what I actually ended up doing was all by myself, all manual, going in this guy, and you know, you can click anywhere you want, boom boom, and it places like a marker, and you can bend from there, click and drag, you know, slip editing. So that's what's going on. So what's gone on here is we got this riff going, and I decided I wanted the snare to kind of be that focus. The snare is on the back, but it's on the ands, you know, like a D beat. So I'll go ahead and play it, and we'll see what's up, make sure it's not too loud, and then we'll go in and I'll actually edit I have a shorter part I left unedited here, which is the only other part of the song I want to edit. I don't want to edit this or this. This is more jammy and free form. That doesn't need to be on the grid, but when, you know, you're playing these quick D beats, everything is noticeable, so you want that snare to be smacking. Anyways, we're gonna give this a listen, and then we'll go from there. So you can hear that snare just right on the grid. That's what we want. We want that snare to be able to just be there hitting every time. Now this isn't really that mix. I'm actually gonna end up using samples as we get into the mix, but keep going. So that's it. That's a quantized. Can you? Yeah, you can. It's quantized, so you can hear that. So I'm gonna go through this really quick. It's super easy, super easy. So essentially, what I want to do. This is my snare track at the top. Is just line it up. So I have it's, you know, quantized set to 8, so I'm seeing eighth notes. So 1 and 2 and what I like to do is get on in here. They are. What I like to do is some people, and I used to do this, is grab the very beginning of the transient right here, right where the waveform starts, which is more like right there. But I found that this can sometimes lead the snare to actually sound like it's coming in late, which is an issue. We don't want that. So what I like to do is getting right where, I'm sure there's a word for it, where the wave goes down and then back up and then back down. Get right up in that first one, drag that to the bar. So we'll give this a listen just so we know what we're working with, and then we'll hop into a quick quantizer, which will only take about 5 minutes to get this done. So I have to unmute and unmute myself, that's why I'm quiet. So you can hear at the end he kind of gets off totally fine because we're gonna quantize it. So we want to line it up to this bar, super easy. Just get up in here, click, boom, drag. Now if you start quantizing, you're gonna want to hit every note, because you can see now this used to be early and now it's late, and that's probably about a 64th note. Not the most noticeable thing in the world, but you'll hear when you're going like this, you'll hear them getting off. And even worse than hearing the music get off is that you feel it get off. You know, that is the real reason why I want to do quantize these. Originally I didn't really want to, but you know, the drummer who recorded this is freaking stellar. He's so good at recording. But this stuff's intense. These recordings are, you know, there's long sessions. We're in my garage. It's hot as balls, you know. He's gonna boom. So we're starting to get on. So like, yeah, he's gonna have a couple of takes that are less than perfect, and that's totally fine. That's why we come in and slip edit, and I find slip editing is the best way to do it, just because, you know, quantization kind of, especially, you know, normal things like guitars and whatnot, you can usually get away with quantization. But I find that with multi-tracking, you know, multi-tracked drums, it's lose. It just, I mean, even beyond timing issues, I'm talking more like phase, and you know how you'll hit this snare, but if you have 8 mics, that snare is going to show up in all 8 mics. So if you start, you know, moving and squishing these tracks all in different ways, like I said, you'll have phase issues, you'll have timing issues up the butt. Like, it's really best to choose the most important element of that part of the drum track, which in this case it's the snare. Sometimes it's the kick, it really just depends. Choose the best one and put it on the grid. Let everything else flow naturally within that part of the kit being so for this case, snares on, everything else kind of just vibes around the snare. The next thing I would recommend, if you even more accurate, the kick, or you could even just do the kick. But since we're doing, you know, off beats, D beat stuff, wanted the snare to be on, because that's going to be really the driving force of this section here. Shouldn't be nearing the end. Okay. Say. So we're just gonna finish this bad boy up. So yeah, for anyone who is just hopping in, hanging out, joining the gang, I am RAMX3. I got that name when I was like 8. I should change it. There's a long story behind that name. Anyways, Mondays 4 to 8 p.m. or whatever time it is, literally right now for you, I do stuff like this. I open up a DAW, I mix songs, I'll edit stuff, we'll hang out, we'll play music, And the point of this is I have a music degree, man, and I love music, and right now it's hard to do anything musical. I do have a musical side gig, but you know, I want to help people learn this stuff. This music, man, is it's something wonderful. So okay, so that's what we want to do there. So yeah, we do this Mondays. We edit, mix, do really nerdy audio, sound wavy, moving air particles into our ears stuff. And then on you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we play games. Doing some Horizon Zero Dawn right now, playing some Smash on the side, some other stuff. So anyways, enough of that. We are going to listen to this. Here we go. Let me mute myself and we'll go to town. So yeah, that is kick-ass. That is just so on. And whoa, the thing is your drummer has to be above a certain threshold of like being a good enough drummer to do this. If your drummer just can't get his, you know, stuff together, then yeah, you're gonna have a little, you know, more issues than normal. But anyways, that's really quick how I edit drums. I think that is the best way to do it. It does take a good amount of time. But it allows you to really dial it in, and if I wanted to come in and change more and add more stuff, I could do that. It's great. We're gonna get rid of that. So what's going on now is you're looking, okay, so some parts have been quantized and some parts have not been. I touched on this earlier, but it's because these lined parts here, those are quantized. Holy shit, give me a second. So these parts with the lines here, these are the quantized. These are unquantized, and that's because it's more just riffy, like listen to this and hang out and jam with it. So I'll go ahead and you'll hear some quantized part, and we'll go into this next part that's not quantized, and I think you'll understand why I've opted to keep it, you know, on time but not perfect. All right, so you guys get it. You can hear why I'm not quantizing that. So if there's anything that anyone wants me to go over immediately right now, if anyone, you know, if anyone like watching, just let me know and I'll hop into it. But right now we're gonna go through more of these young Durhams. So what we want to start with, in my humble opinion, is the snare. You can see I've already kind of gone to town on these guys, but let me make sure this group is all chilling. So this is basically the parameters for the group, what the group is affected by, so I can edit them together, but their volumes are independent of each other. Their pans are independent of each other. The solo, which is honestly only for the solo, I don't really like to mute parts of my drums, unless it's like rooms. I usually will actually my room mics up until the very last thing, just because I don't like it getting in the way of my ears when I'm mixing like overheads or stuff like that. So yeah, and then what comes up next is the record monitor, which are these two: record, monitor back. What I mean, I'm not going to record just the snare, so that stays. Inserts, I want individual. I might want one EQ here, a different EQ there, or this compressor, that kind of thing. And then lastly, sends, you know, sends. They usually get sent together, but no, don't really need it. So anyways, here we go. I'm gonna actually turn off all of my plugins here, and so we're gonna hop into the snare. I'm gonna solo it and we're gonna be able to listen. I'll go through everything I've done so far and we'll continue to work on it because I don't like where it is, and then we're gonna eventually add actually samples to it. So here we go. All right, so yeah, you can hear everything in it. So what I want to do obviously first is gate out everything going on. So we're gonna do that and then move on. So with the gate time. And you can hear it's super choppy. These are all the parameters. Obviously, it's either gate or expander wants to be gate, and floor and infinite. Gate open, which is this whole thing. Oh, there we go. Gate closed, so you can see where it comes in and comes out. I'm essentially trying to get it to a point where you just get that body. All you want is that body. So if I cut it off, you know, too early, you lose a lot of that low end. So we're gonna keep it there. Attack is how fast the gate kicks in. You know, it's never gonna do anything. So I actually really like that. It dropped all the way to 0. To 1, you get a lot more. This is release, how fast the gate drops. So you bring it up a little too you bring that gate up a little too high and you get a lot more of that other stuff going on, which we don't want. I think I had this at 64 earlier. And then hold us how long it holds open. You can hear there's like a lot of that hi-hat or whatever coming in, which don't want. And so yeah, you can see it holds no bueno. So that's pretty good. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try a different gating method. What is it called? Trigger, slate trigger. It has a great built-in gate. Great. So we're gonna turn this off. Turn our mix down to 0, because this mix is in reference to the sample overlay, which we don't want. Turn the gate on. What we want to do first, I'm sorry, is give it more input. So there you go, it's going pretty well. Forgetting how to turn it up, which I really shouldn't forget. There you go, the volume button, duh. Essentially, we only want the loudest hits to be at the very top, so we're gonna try to just, I think it's actually to be best to have that at 0. There we go, turn the gate on. Done. I mean, you bring that hold up. So the base of the purpose, you can see it here, those darker areas is where the hold is cutting off the gate. So the dark areas you're not hearing, those lighter areas you are. So we're gonna try, that's the hold, is the whole purpose to get the end of the transient there. So I wanna bring you can hear no matter how far back we go with the hold, we are always hearing just a little bit of that hi-hat right there, which is fine. So because of that, don't really care, gonna keep it about there. Again, release. See, that's a little too much. So we can now A-B these guys. Yeah, and that trigger one is just much better. just so that trigger is just so much cleaner. And so we're actually gonna end up just using that. Oh, fingers crossed this doesn't crash my program. Cool. There we go. So up next, EQ. This is a little wonky. I don't like this snare being as thin as it sounds, so I was just like kick up. What is that? 173. You could probably bring it up. I know I'm cutting here, a little bit of boost. Get rid of trying to shelf off all that original like cymbal noise I had, but since we're getting rid of that with the trigger, we might be able to pull that back a bit. So you can I'm gonna turn my monitors up. Can hear that, like that's not a chiller. So we want to get the Q, which is like how thin or thick it is. Here's our frequency. And there's something going on. You can hear with that snare bottom. There's no snare bottom mic, but I don't like the sound of a snare bottom. I've just never been a fan. So we're gonna see if we can do. Right about there. A quick tip when you're doing like the pull the EQ up and see what things sound like is if you pull the EQ up plus 10 dB, let's say, everything is going to sound like a problem. So make sure you're only going up like 5 to 6 dB. You can see this is 10 here. I guess I was 18, but you get the point. The more you pull it up, the louder everything gets. Yeah, it's fine. Take that down a bit more just because I'm not really too much of a fan anymore. DF Excite. This is just an exciter, make it sound better. So that, not a fan. I'm not the biggest fan of this thing. It's super touchy. Do that. The thing is, if you turn these off, it turns off that frequency range. So make sure you're keeping them all on if you're using this plugin. JC clip. Turn that down a bit for y'all. Cool, so now you can probably totally hear the snare coming through my monitors. So we don't want that. So I was just trying to get rid of that, like, that you can hear it in there. This is pretty alright. This is probably about as best as I can get it, to be honest. So what we want to do now, see if we can't get this thing to trigger. We're just gonna go through a bunch of samples, listen, see how it all mixes, and yeah, here we go. I gotta mute myself and we'll get to town. So let's see, there's all these things, you know, the classic metalcore snares. Where is it? And I like that 11 a little more. I'm gonna go for that. Kind of like that too. Those are a little gross. A little gross. No. I think 11 was my favorite. Yeah, that 3 is quieter. There we go, 11. And I meant to open 10A. Yeah, I like how low that is. So we want to use that. User. Maybe. Then of course, because I'm that guy, turn that way down. Honestly, maybe even send that to its own. If you wanted to have the middle farm and the snare 11 on their own track, then the burning beards on its own, compress the shit out of the burning beards, and then like just turn it way down, just kind of like parallel compression essentially. But I'm not gonna do that for this. Hate that snare more than anything because I do. Y'all get the point. All right, we are going to use these, see how they sound, and go from there. I gotta mute myself again, because I just can't mix on headphones. That's not how it works. So this is how we do it here. I also am going to turn down my fan right now. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in my room though, so if I start sweating, that's why. But give me a second here. Okay, back to the grind. I'm gonna mute myself. We're gonna listen to some snares. You'll see me work, probably tweak some things, and we'll go from there. So something to talk about: post fader, pre fader. Right now I am in pre fader mode, meaning my send is affected by my mute and my volume. I have an individual send here, but if I'm still muted, I won't send anything to the bus that it's, you know, sending to. Fix, go to post fader. That means after all that, or yeah, I think it's after all this will be sent. Essentially, it's either you bypass the volume and everything, or you don't. Anyways, back to the snares. What's that? Oh, you can hear the mic move right there. Hold on. That's just the beauty of raw drum tracking. You know, if I was doing this for someone else, if this wasn't my own personal band and I couldn't make these decisions right here, right now, I'd go in, I'd find what track that's on, you know, probably would automate the volume down on the, you know, the 2 tracks that I would be able to do that on without, you know, affecting the mix. But since it's my track and I know I want this like kind of raw, the boys want it kind of raw, leave it in. No biggie. But I think the snare sounded sick as hell, so we're gonna keep going with it. But we're getting somewhere. So what we're just looking for here is a transient designer to adjust the attack of the snare. I want a little more off the original signal. All right, that is mad cool. Next thing I want to do, I don't think I can bus a send in effect. Can I? Oh, that's powerful. I'm just gonna mess around with some compression and some more EQ then on this here. And honestly, what I should do is I'm gonna do this probably after the thing is take this track, bounce the sound file to a new track, and turn the plugin off so it's not using that memory. That takes a little while to do just because bouncing takes a minute, so do it later. But that is something you would want to do if you were on your own clock. Anyways, compressor time, stuff like that. I just heard something there that was wonky, so I just wanted to get rid of that. I knew it was there. Yeah, anyways, onwards. This compressor can smack pretty hard. It's, if I remember correctly, it is touchy. But that's good because then you have a very wide, area between the floor and the ceiling of the plugin. You can really get that snare to smack. So I want to just compress it a bit, kind of start to merge the two sounds. That's all I'm really doing here. I honestly, this is probably the wrong plugin to use to merge sounds, but I don't want to load a ton of plugins on here. Just a bunch of like shmush. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind multiple compressors. 3 compressors reducing 12, or what it would be 4 dB each, usually works better than 1 compressor doing 12 dB or 2 compressors doing 6 dB. So you do have to keep that in mind. If you can't get a compressor to work, just reduce less and add more compressors that also reduce less, and that way they work together. It's actually a really cool and effective way to compress things, and it's a cool little technique not everyone knows about. But anyways, we're gonna do this now. So I like this. I don't like I added a transient designer, and now I'm just compressing away. So we can try getting rid of that and seeing it. But I do like it when it's really just like that initial hit is just mad squished. So that what I did there is I heard that like gross like under the snare stuff I didn't like that was really dirty and I would say almost ruining the integrity of that actual snare. Um, so instead of just sitting there, hours EQing out like a bunch and affecting a bunch of stuff, I like to just reduce the actual sustain of the transient, really just only get that hit. So yeah, that's a little trick, save you some time. Don't have to get super meticulous with your EQ. I'm not liking this plugin all that much, to be honest with you, so I want to try a different one. HComp is essentially my old reliable. I've always just liked it. We're gonna give this a shot. All right, so that's workable. Sorry, I am very tired. I've been up for 13 hours now. So good enough for now. Next thing we're gonna move to is La Di Da Day, Le Kick. Just want to go ahead and turn all of these on really quick and hear the snare and the mix that I already have. But we can get rid of that. We don't need that. So we need drum bus, drum rooms, bus 3, A3. Weird. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure these are all going to the right. So these toms need to go to the drum bus. They were going here first. There we go. So that'll work. All right, we're gonna play and see what's up. we'll fix that later. That hi-hat is like a in it. Sounds pretty solid. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the kick because the kick sucks. So and we already know that trigger is a better gate. So we're gonna do that right now. Crazy. So now we got our kicking. Stretch. Always remember to stretch when you're doing these kinds of things. Yeah, some of y'all probably like dying at my EQ, but that's cool. We're gonna just play around with this kick to the point where I feel like this, what's been done here, the natural kick sounds good enough, then we're gonna put a sample over. Here we go. That hi-hat is still just in there to a point where I don't like it. Where I mean I may not even end up using this kick, to be honest. Excuse me. Whoa. It's a little not really happy with it at all. That happens. I'm like, why isn't this working? Like, I'm not hearing anything. Apparently, I put it on the wrong channel. Goes there. All right, back to the grind. Okay, so we're kind of at a point where we're not going to get this cake to sound any better. I can just tell. I just know. So that's when we're going to jump into samples. So for that, you know the drill. Might as well save. We've been at this for a little while. Trigger. And I heard a kick when we the first time did it. I wanted to use that kick, so I will go and get that. I think it's kind of funny how many of these kicks I have, and I just like, ugh, I hate that. I need to invest in new kicks. If you want to donate, I don't have that set up yet, so thank you if you want to donate. If I did have it set up, it would help me buy new samples. Sick. There's like a flam thingy in there, so we're gonna see what's up with that. If we can spruce her up. Something happened. So what we're going to do now is, instead of continuing with this, we're going to compress the original track because I don't want to have to deal with all these volumes, and then we'll go off of that. So the kick is just so much more consistent now. Ugh. And so might work on this compressor just a smidgen more. We're gonna hop right back into that sample again. So this we may have to automate down outside of the kicks is what I'm. Or just open up the detail. So that's interesting. Of course, I would fix that. Like I said, I'm on a time crunch and I don't want to drag you guys through a bunch of like really long things that I would do to like spruce this up. But hey, Squid Street's here. I didn't even know that. So yeah. We're gonna keep going. I'm just trying to like adjust my screen over here. I can't like look at the chat. It's like not being my friend, which sucks. But there we go. We can do kind of that. So if something new pops up, I can do it. Oh, there's a bunch of like my like Smash Bros things going up. Let me turn all that off. Turn that. Okay, cool. So we're gonna keep going. Hey, I just saw that follow. Thank you so much, Batchet TV. That's mental. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't know why I don't have my alert box going. Maybe it went off and I didn't see it. Anyways, thank you so much. That means a lot. We're gonna keep going. So I'm not gonna actually like sit through this and figure all of it out. It would just take too much time, too much technicality. So let's move on. I don't see it greatly affecting, you know, what we're going to be doing right here, right now. So like we did with the other two tracks, we want to just bust these bad boys, kick, bust. So this routing, for those who doesn't know what's happening, is there's busing going on and there's sending, and they're different. Sending is takes your signal and sends it somewhere else. It splits it, which is what we're doing with the original kick signal. We're splitting it and we're sending it to this, you know, kick sample track. But then we're taking both of those master outputs of those channels and we're busing them here. So now we can work on these two tracks together, which is what we kind of want. So, and then this is going not to main, but to the drum bus. So now, like we did with the snares, we're just gonna kind of squish together these drums and make them more drummy. Yo, I'm honestly, man, I'm not even gonna front. I don't really know how to say your name. Batchetive. Anyway, I think you came from Ryan's stream, so thank you, man. I appreciate you hanging out. We're just working on some music, talking about how I go about mixing and making shit sound less shitty. So we're working on the kick drum right now. So you can hear that this attack at a certain point just kills the low end. I mean, just so I want that low end going through, and so yeah, I mean, we could always add it back in, but I'm like, I know what I'm going for here. It's more that natural from this original kick signal. So here we go. There's something right in there and I'm trying to get rid of it, but man, like that, I had it and then I did. So here's the game plan now, because two things. I'm bothered by how drear that drear dry, that snare sounds, we are going to add some reverb. That will be a send, and then we're going to create another like effects channel and send the kick and the snare to that, and then parallel compress, which I'll explain when we get there. I'm gonna mute up and we're gonna reverb this. We're gonna reverb up the snare. Sorry, tripping, blah blah blah. I'm gonna EQ this now because it needs to be EQ'd. Okay, cool, man. I like where we're getting with these drums. They are sounding good. The question really becomes, do we replace the toms I don't know. I like how they sound. I really do. So I'm gonna take a quicker listen, a more like in-depth listen to all that right now, and we'll see what's up. Okay, so after that, we're going to probably end up no samples, but I do want to try to gate with that other plugin I was using, the Slate Trigger. So let's give that a shot. So we can just get rid of this end because there's no tom hits, and I'm not using this for room or anything. I just want tom hits out of it. So I'm actually gonna do that. These can be better gated. So what I'm gonna do is actually use an expander before this, which compressors reduce dynamic range, expanders increase. So my thought process is if I can expand the dynamic range, I can better um, use the gate. And I'm not even gonna front. I don't use a lot of expanders. Like I like never use expanders. This is like new territory for me right here. So what we got to do now is just turn these single hits up. So we'll get into the compressor. Honestly, man, like mixing music is nothing more than just solving problems in creative ways. Okay, that's chill. What we can do from here is essentially, oh, stretch important. Try to. I think we are gonna use samples now. I've changed my mind. We're gonna use samples, but so we can do this raw track really quick and then go from there. Just want like a little kiss of that. Okay, this is bitchin'. This is mad bitchin'. Onto the floor, Tom. I just kind of want to fly through it. I actually want to do the same thing we did here. Just copy this all over. Make it a little easier to just kind of hop into the chain and know what I am trying to do. We can do. So we just want this to be as raw as possible. We're just going for the chain essentially. Excuse me. Alrighty. Oh, let's go. This is gonna be interesting. We'll see what's up. this tom is super it's got a lot of tail end to it. It's super like the sustain's really long on it. So we might be doing some transient stuff, but for now, this is kind of the issue is this volume was cranked up for the rim or the room tom. So we'll see what's up. Probably as safe we can get with it. We're just gonna move on, see what we can do EQ wise and whatnot. So we just want to add a little bit, a little more body, get rid of the weird woofy, and let that high end kind of come through a bit more. I'm trying to make it so you guys won't hear the stuff come through because I'm getting pretty tired of having to mute and unmute. Hopefully, yeah, is that enough? Yeah, it's mostly my gain's gonna be. We're good. All right, I'm gonna continue on. I just want to make it so I get rid of this if I can. I don't need all this. I'm pretty sure he's just hitting the point, and I can. Problem solved. Cool. Move on. What was I doing originally? This. It's not a. I hated how it's. That's a little better. We're gonna keep up with that. We're gonna keep going back to the floor. Okay, those are all kicks there, so we're good. Let's see how this. Money, dude. The drummer, the guy that did the drums for this, his name's Parker Trent. Man's an absolute animal. I don't know what he does half the time. Like, this shit's crazy right here. Yeah, that's banging. I like that a lot. I'm pleasantly surprised. Toms, they are going to get a. I don't really need it. It's actually so I can send re out. Yeah, this here is not group. Can't even tell. I see where that. There's like a noise part going on there. That's why there's that high. There's a section of the song. We've been working on drums for an hour and a half now. Holy crap. Anyways, I like this. I gotta get some reverb. Easy. I think I do want to use samples. I just kind of want to like back up. Back it up. I'm a king of talking shit, then backing it up. I kind of want to just do that for these to make sure these are as good as they can actually be. Trigger, boom. These though don't need a lot. They don't need as much. So you see, we don't want these middle ones. We don't want there. It's super accurate. Tom sample. Metal tom. Oh, disgusting. Ew, I hate those. Those. That's honest. Let's take this out. This is just so we can just confident knowing that what we're gonna good. Night and day. Night and day. That this boom. Not like I don't really care where I'm getting that. I know that's the noise. What you do for a great track? I think we're just gonna stick with drums today. Hardcore drum day. What we're doing. You get what we're doing. Fun, baby. We can do this because this is the only song we could do the whole. We can use this tom here as our basically like our reverb is the tom or our like tail of what's going on is this tom sample. I do hear some stuff in there though, so we'll be going in. Yeah, dude, that's it right there. Just gross. Yeah, that's better. But this is sounding wacky in here. Sir. Interesting. I'm not sure. It might be. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that's fire, man. That's super fire. We want to take this tom sample. There we go. That's what's up. Yeah, y'all. So, any of you guys listen to Daughters? That's pretty much what this is. Let me get rid of all this noise. So the drums are sounding good. We really only have to work through the overheads now, and then just kind of like these rooms. But I'm not going to. We treat these two as one track. all of that actually. Go. Here we go. We're just gonna EQ up this bus 3, which is actually our overhead bus, and other stuff in hi-hat that sounds nasty. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that, and then we're just gonna also see we're using the SSL waves, not the G, just the regular. The G is a little dirtier of a console. I could probably get away with using it, but I don't want to. And then what's going on here too, I just want a pretty hard compression on it. This is that was the jazz part, and like in here it gets noisy and intense, so I just, it's high end or these cymbals getting in. So I can hear right now, this sounds pretty, that cymbal's getting squashed to hell. That's fine though. I can hear immediately the issue. Yeah, just, it's, oh dude, it's always 500. And then that higher end is probably gonna be like a K. And like that there is a actually solid overhead. So go through, listen to it a bit more, and it's up. Oh, did you learn something, Brooke? Really weird that there's not a kick right at the beginning here, so I am going to add one. This is what's, yeah, you can see he hit it. Is leaking. So we cutter tool, get rid of it. Okay. Hitballs. So alt click, select only that, bring it here, proper in. Hopefully that. There we go. So that's how you got to kick. Easy money squeezy. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, dude. Overheads are powerful. Sick as hell. And you can notice if you take a look here, you'll see. Let me make sure that yeah. If you take a look, you'll see that this one's a little louder than this one. That's because when you measure out from the center of the snare 4 feet to where you want them, one of them's closer, so it's gonna be a little louder. You also have to adjust for phase to make sure you pull the track back a smidge. Anyways, that's really it. Like I'm happy with those overheads. Like I'm done. Now it's just these rooming boards. I know exactly what we're gonna do with this. You're going to squash the living balls out. It's gonna get loud, so I'm gonna turn you down, but the sound will come back. And now we're gonna use a tape emulator and we just want to dirty this up. So it'll just cut through and bring a lot to the table. Turn you down because I'm gonna unmute everything. Yeah, I like that a lot actually. I don't think it really needs any EQ, but I do hear some stuff. Okay. Just clean her up a bit. Alright, like that's chilling. Like I can get behind this. And the reason we want to crunch is because the genre, this is gonna really add a lot of just crunch drive, help it kick through right. Just a little something more. Here we go, let's listen to this. You can hear the kick comes in here. No, we decided we didn't really tell this. So okay, well, nothing's actually gone. So I am a little thirsty. I think it's a good time to take a little break, grab some drink, see what's popping. I'll leave the song playing. But yeah, we'll regroup in 5 and move on now. So let me back. Hey, we're back. Sorry, fuck. Hey, anyways, shit. So we hopefully you got water or whatever. I think this center part is a little too grainy, like in your face. So I think I want to pull that back a smidge. But besides that, I think we're good. All right, cool. That stuff is popping. So what we're gonna do, I'll run through the guitars. I'll show you what I did. I mean, like if anything, just need a little bit of EQ, but it's literally just the STL funny with some of this good stuff, and that's really it. So give me a second here. We'll go through it. We'll EQ some, but we'll see what's up. That was weird. My audio's routed backwards. The panning, that's fine. Alrighty, so I hear, actually, now that we're soloing it, I hear a lot of stuff. And we're just gonna get to it. A lot of EQ work to be done. So we're gonna hit that. Boy. Get rid of this low end. Kind of get rid of this. That like mid woofy can get gross. That can get gross. Like you gotta cut a lot. It's kind of ridiculous. I like to see how the integrity of the sound is when you cut off the top. You can usually get, yeah, you can get really low actually this time. I like that. And so I do, you know, the classic. Copy it on over. Yeah, one side's louder than the other. That's cool. That's dope. That's getting fire. Okay, cool. So now what's up is we are the guitars are chilling. Like we're gonna reamp these anyways. Um Guitars are in a place that going to the bass, really the same thing. Don't like how squished this is. Yeah, same thing, just pulling from the tonality plugin. Just use the modern push bass preset. Going into some compression because this shit was got it. So just show you on and off it. So this is on and now off. It like levels it out a bunch. And then this just to get it in. Not trying to like wreck it too hard at the limit. You can split the bass, which is probably what I'll end up doing after. Whatever you. Why can't I think of it? Reamp. There we go. Anyways, back to the track. So cool, woohoo! All right, what's up next is we wrote these noise parts here. There's two of them up here, and then some more later. How we got these was we took the bass, we just cranked the volume up, and then the input, and we put it right into my monitor. Got a bunch of feedback and static. You can see this is like super been manipulated. It like cut up and this not so much. This was like more noise here. You can see we had it cranked. You can see we took. And then these are the same thing from earlier. This is white noise, I'm sorry. God, just random. This is a sub. The song is in the like more or less in the key of E minor. Minus a couple minor notes. Then so Sub Destroyer, JST, that's what we got this from. Just some sub. So I'll play the noise parts and then I'll kind of go through. So here we go. So, like I said, we just messed around with it, and then it came back in. We have it all fading in. I know I want it to come in faster, but we really can't with this song. It's literally the same thing. And then this, like that. So when they're together, they mix in really well together. And that's all because it's the same instrument, just like manipulated in different ways. So that's the noise part, and then the second, this delays and explain the chain later. Second part isn't this guy and this guy. It's literally just a sub with white noise over it. I got the idea from Mick Gordon, like the guy who made the dude. That's how he made the soundtrack actually. Subs. Just 4 or 5 minutes. There's a whole video on YouTube. GDC, just type in GDC Doom Music 2016, and it's like an hour and a half long. Great video. Great video. So this is it here. Everything. You can see how it works together. So these all, let's go through and talk what I'm doing here. So base 2 I don't like. I'll put a gate. You can hear there's a actually is this is one of those cases where like they just it's annoying, but what you can do put a gate after it. You can hear it. So that's a good way to it'll be choppy, but it's fine. And before the bounce you can so noise. We have these two here. They're both going to bus 4, which is here. Once they, you know, this is the bass track we manipulated. Just a tuner. Again, this bad boy. Compression, play, gate we just added. That's crazy. I turn. Bit. After that, it's just give it some character. We wanted this to be like a lower subbier kind of thing, and so there we go. And they're going to this bus 4 here. More compression. I love this thing. LA2, CLA2A. Great compressor, especially on vocals. It was annoying. Got rid of that, and then tape, which is really. That's what this sounds. All is said and done, this is what you're listening to. And then with the actual song, I mean, I played it a million. Work together. Boy. Now that I've cleaned this all up, that we can do a bit more. I think we can do a little something like this so it kicks in a little earlier. Because I really like what's going on here. Like, a lot. So. So yeah, that's the noise. It was literally all just bass generated off dolly bass. So then these other noises, this is really where the last brunt of this work needs to come from. I hear a lot of issues with it. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Get to it. Okay, so this bad dog, yeah, it's super interesting. So we got the white noise here. So sub destroyer, just EQ on them. I don't even know. Yeah, get rid of that. White noise is all. The sub destroyer was just super intense. Fix it up a smidgen. White noise really gonna get. Two is we don't need low end on white noise. So how we got that, the weird effects there is we took super small smidge of white noise, second note, stretched it. And that's where you get that weird, like, it gets like it's right here. That's what slowed down audio sounds like. Same thing with the sub. Took small parts. These two are not, I don't think they're one of the grossest noisiest. And then these last two, this last section here is in time with the music. But he does like do 7 hits at the end, and then the last 3 he does 1 2 3 1 2 3 1. So he subs divide the 3, just like triplets. So we did that here. And then you do hear 2 on the bass. There's pops. Yeah, the way to get rid of those pops is you want to just get up in here, and that's because the sound wave, it goes up and then it goes down. It doesn't like a thing. It just is like down and then it's up, but like it just immediately. The way to fix that is just get in here, give it a little bit of a fade, pop, and you have to play around with it. But that's the idea behind it. I frankly don't care about the pops just because this part is noisy. Pops add noise and kind of fit, but yeah. So you can hear that was a little better. I don't care. I like the pops. Anyways, we have both of these going into bus 5, and then Sans. You have, you know, distortion. This. And then that goes the. What did we do? Oh, and then it just looks like a. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't, and the reason we did it here, send it up. Yeah. Stuff. So. And when it's all said and done, it's just this weird. I actually don't like sounding more about here. The reason for that is because when you like just get grossly digital distorted, I mean it's all digital distorted, but something you have to be conscious about is, are you overdoing it? There's a point, like, of course I'd rather have the point where you just kind of have to call it. It's gross when it's all squished. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, that's it, man. It's because I'm using a lot of these things. I can know this song. I know. There's no vocals. We haven't done that yet. We're waiting for October. See what's up. I guess we'll give it a listen through, and we'll call it just a drum day. Really just wanted to focus on editing the drums, getting those dialed in. So thank you for hanging out here. We'll give it a listen. This is a untitled demo 6 by Compiler. Hold on, there's something right in here. Gross. That fixes. Could be. Can do this. Just really trying to get rid of everything when Tom is like, things have been. I know this rack is finicky recording. Hopefully that's. Here's the song. Let's get it. Bread to be had. Dope. Dope money just came in. Alright, so yeah, I heard some stuff in there. Definitely want to go back and fix. For now, like that's solid. I'm like I said, we're gonna be reamping all of this good stuff. So yeah. Anyways, this was fun. I think we're gonna call it here. Everything else is just small, meticulous stuff no one wants to watch me do. So yeah, thank you for being here. This was a great time. I definitely will be doing this again because I love this. So next Monday, same place, same time, right here, 4 p.m. I don't know, maybe I'll change it to 2 to 4. I don't know. If or just let me know. Besides that, on my plugs, I got a YouTube channel. I'll be uploading this to that later, just in case you watch anything. This is my Twitch channel. It is /RayMX3. Instagram is at SLNTLCAS. I tweet and give you updates when I'm streaming. Sounds pretty loose to me. So check that out if that sounds fun. Anyways, unless anyone says anything in chat, wants to talk about any of the stuff we went over today, are going to I'm gonna call it, man. But yeah, thank you all for changing chat. Thank you all for hanging out. This was fun. I'm gonna go now. So I will catch y'all later.